Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? So, Thursday and Fallout News Day once again. And before we dive into this, I just wanted to say I realise things have been a little quiet around here recently, but for various reasons there. But I've got a few cool things lined up. We've got a new build coming in the next few days and some fun new stuff coming over the next few weeks as well. So do keep your eyes out for that. Should be good fun. But let's jump in and take a look at our latest news for Fallout. So this week, the news is somewhat mixed. There's going to be some things in here that I don't think people are going to be exactly overjoyed by. On the surface of it, it's a little frustrating in some areas, but the decisions behind it, when you look a little deeper, I think are probably sensible on Bethesda's part, and it implies they're focusing on the right things, at least in the short term anyway. So I think it's worth having a look at that. But let's jump in and see what they've got for us. So, Meat Week begins again. I'm very happy to see this coming back. I didn't get the opportunity last time round to get everything I wanted to. There are a number of the rewards that I didn't manage to grab, rather. So, having a second bite at the apple is certainly welcome, but it's coming as part of the Project Clean Appalachia, which is in the run-up to the Wastelanders launch in just over a month. So probably about 5 weeks, I think, hopefully. So, you've all been doing a bang-up job cleaning up the wasteland so far during Project Clean Appalachia, but there's still plenty to accomplish over the next few weeks. Meat Week returns today, thanks to your tireless Scorch Beast slaying efforts, and Take Out the Trash Challenge begins next Tuesday. So, you've blown away tons of Scorch Beasts, over 670,000 in the last 2 weeks. That is a really good sign for the sake of the game, I think. It implies there's more people playing and more actively and more regularly than it might appear on the surface of things. So that's really, really cool to hear. So during the Clear Skies Challenge over the past 2 weeks, you've earned a second helping of Meat Week for a full 7 days. Awesome. Congratulations to all of the dedicated Scorch Beast hunters in the community who helped drop so many of these deadly creatures. Get ready to fire up the grill with Grum, because Meat Week starts a little later today and runs until October 3rd. So, very, very cool. Looking forward to diving back into that. I think I will be avoiding the hunting challenges that lead up to the main Meat Week event, the cookout, and just focusing primarily on the cookout, assuming it's got the same sort of setup it had last time. Because, after all, that's the bit with the good rewards, so I'll focus on that, I think. So, Challenge 2, Take Out the Trash. Now that the community has put a damper on the aerial infestation, it's time to set our sights on mopping up another mess, the Scorched. Starting next Tuesday, the 1st of October, dwellers can kill Scorch throughout Appalachia to earn progress towards a new set of rewards. Take out 8 million Scorched, and the community will unlock a legendary sale event from Purveyor Murmagor from the 17th to the 21st of October. So 8 million, that's a lot. But saying that, Scorch tend to come in groups and they don't take that long to kill. So if we manage to take down, 670,000 Scorch Beasts in 2 weeks, 8 million Scorch should be manageable, I think. Like the last challenge, there will be stretch goals along the way, offering cosmetic rewards. Speaking of, if you want to take opportunity of that, make sure you dive into the Atomic Shop and grab the free icon, free hairstyle, and the other thing that I can't remember off the top of my head we got for taking out so many Scorch Beasts, as well as the return of Meat Week. So, free stuff in the Atomic Shop, so take advantage of that. And from the sound of it, there will be more coming if we can hit subsequent milestones beyond the 8 million over the next couple of weeks as well. Help kill enough Scorch to complete the final stretch goal before October 14th, and the community will receive a massive buff for the Purveyor sale, which will increase the discount on legendary weapons and armor to 50%, so half price on legendary gear from the Purveyor. I'm definitely hoping to see that one come around, because even with 25% off, once you factor in the random element of the Purveyor's stock, it can be a little bit time-consuming and less than ideal way of getting legendaries. Not that there really is an ideal way. So increasing your chances, well, by basically doubling your chances by doubling the value of your script, should be a very, very welcome thing. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up some cool gear as a result of this, which would be very, very cool. Bonus, the Purveyor is planning to host their first mystery pick event from the 3rd to the 7th of October. During this event, you can choose a limited time mystery pick option at the Purveyor for a chance at a greatly reduced script price on a purely random legendary item. Get those syllables in the right order. So the gist of it will be, for much less money, you can pick up a legendary item, but it will be a totally random roll on what you get. Same as if you take out a legendary in the world, I guess. Which is fine, but not particularly inspiring to me. So if you want to go for that, you can. I probably won't. I've got my fingers crossed for this 50% discount, personally. I think that'll be really cool. So, the quality of life features status update. This is where things get a little more mixed. As I say, it's probably a good set of decisions given what they are focusing on over at Bethesda, but it's still not going to come as joyous news, I don't think. So it's probably no surprise that Wastelanders is a big focus of ours. Good, it needs to be. We are dedicated to making this new giant update as best as it can be. Struggling again. So what does this mean for some of the other requests we've seen and feedback we've been reading from you? Wastelanders may be a big focus, but it's not our only one. There are several things that we want to do and are working on, but it takes time and in some cases a lot of work. Worth noting, these things are obviously not as easy to do as they might appear. We will be talking about Wastelanders and other content, patches and features as they get closer to launching. We do want to take a moment to give a quick status update on a few of the things that we'll see more often than others, starting with the features that we're looking at adding in 2020. So this is looking quite a way forward. 2020 is not nearly far enough away, sadly. Time flying and all that. But there's a few things here that have been pushed back, mostly because of the focus on Wastelanders, I think, judging by the tone of this. As I say, mixed feelings on the pushing back of these things, but if it means they're focusing on Wastelanders, given the scale of that update, I think that's definitely the right choice. Wastelanders has huge potential to refresh the game and be a massive overhaul and generally bring the game into a much better place than it currently is. Not that it's in the worst place, but it's had its ups and downs. I think focusing on Wastelanders for those reasons is really, really important. It's also got a chance of bringing back players who had previously perhaps got bored and left, and also getting players who decided not to play the game to give it a go with the return of the NPCs. So I think it's very, very important, particularly in light of the rocky first year, that Bethesda get this right. And I really, really hope they're able to pull that off. My major concern being that if they don't, and this goes pear-shaped, or worse, that they won't get a third opportunity. I think that if it goes badly, they could not only end up putting off those players who've already left and who don't want to try the game, or haven't tried it previously, but they could also end up losing a lot of the existing player base. So this really needs to be a big priority, and it sounds like they are making it a big priority, which is good. So, what are they looking at adding in 2020? Big request. Very, very big request. It takes a little bit of time to get together, apparently. They've been talking about it since QuakeCon back in August. PTS, a private test server. Private test server? Public test server is usually the way they go, but okay. And it's currently in the works with the hope of getting up and running in 2020. Once we've figured out all, or most, of the kinks, we'll be able to provide more details on our PTS and how you can participate. So not a lot of detail, just information that it is coming. It'll probably be, hopefully early, next year, which is cool. It's a big community request, hopefully to iron out some of the wrinkles in the patches before they push them to live. So fingers crossed on that one, looking forward to seeing that. Perk loadouts. So simple in concept, but really, really cool. Something I think a lot of people want, and I'd certainly like to see. I think it's a good idea. Perk loadouts are currently planned for early 2020. So the general idea will be that you load up all your perks the way you do now, hit a save button, and then change them all out again, and save another combination of perks, and then you can just quickly switch between different setups. As it is, you can manually do that, but it's not exactly practical to do on the fly. It's quite a faff, really. So perk loadouts should streamline that and be a lovely little quality of life change. I think a lot of people are going to appreciate that. I know I will. But early 2020 for this one. We've got a little bit of a wait. Like the PTS, this is still very much a work in progress, and while we're excited to get this system out to you, it's still a ways off before we can start sharing more details. Look forward to a future Inside the Vault installment when we get closer to the release. So, more details coming in future, but that's the gist of what it's likely to be. Multi-factor authentication. Funnily enough, this is something I've not heard very much about, and it's kind of surprising, and kind of surprising it's not already in the game. With a lot of things like this, it's a fairly standard feature, and definitely a welcome one and a good one. So the gist of it being that you have an app on your phone or whatever, and it gives you a code every time you log in, meaning you've got that extra layer of security to protect your account. It's a little bit time consuming, bit of a faff, but generally a good idea. I know any time I can set it up, I always do, so definitely a good addition. But yeah, interesting to see Bethesda focusing on that side of things as well, and definitely a good sign. Hopefully it's not a sign that people have had problems with their accounts being hacked, but yeah, hopefully they're getting ahead of problems here. With my guess would be they're anticipating an increase in player numbers with Wastelanders, and they're bringing this in response to that. So, account security is very important for us, and we know it's critical to you as well. The wonderful Bethesda Net team has been working hard to get multi-factor authentication implemented for Bethesda.net, which is basically your Fallout 76 account as well. They're very close to planning, and are planning to have this enabled by the end of the year, which is good. This is a little sooner than anything else. Basically means that, along with Wastelanders, or during the course of the Wastelanders launch over the subsequent months, they should be increasing the security on your player account, which is cool. So, Legendary Player. This was something they mentioned at QuakeCon as well. The general idea being that as you hit level 50, obviously you stop earning special points at the moment, continue getting perks, but you don't get any more special points. The idea here is that every so often beyond that, probably level 100, 150 and so on, you'll get to select a new special point, or a new special perk rather, that you'll make legendary, making that particular stat more powerful and giving you access to new, more powerful perks within that stat. Every 50 levels or so was the plan at QuakeCon, but they did say that might change, so it's been a while, who knows what form it's actually in now. However, originally we thought and had planned for this to be arriving this year, but plans had to be adjusted while we worked on other things. They have had their speed bumps in the last few months. This is still very much something we're looking forward to releasing, and I currently have this scheduled for release in Q1 of 2020, so first 3 months of next year. That's not the smallest window in the world. Obviously, it sounds from this like they've had a few more issues with it than they anticipated. They're still working on it, and they've had to push it back a bit with some of the issues they've had and with Wastelanders coming up. So I know not everybody's going to be happy about that. It's something that could be interesting. I have mixed feelings personally. Making players more powerful is not something I'm that keen on, really. I'll have to see how it works with the balance changes they've talked about introducing. Because personally I find, particularly once you hit those higher levels, and especially once you start getting that really good legendary gear, that you wind up, in a way, actually overpowered, and the challenge from the game dies off quite a lot, which I think is not a good thing. I know not everybody agrees with me. I know a lot of people like being able to run around and one-shot things. Personally, it has its conveniences, but I prefer to actually have some challenge in my gameplay. So, mixed feelings there from me, but yeah, Legendary Player status coming in early 2020. Social menu fixes. This one is a bugbear for me. We're aware of an issue that can prevent players on PC from sending and accepting friend invites. We're also investigating several additional social menu issues for all platforms. We're working to address the friend issue on PC as soon as we can. Good. But this is just one part of a group of social fixes we're looking to roll out across multiple future updates. So expect tweaks to the social menu and social setup in 76 over the next few months. The PC issue being that, as I say here, you can't accept or receive or send friend invites, which has been a bugbear for me, because there's a few times recently I've wanted to invite you guys to join and play together and have a good laugh. But I can't invite anybody new at the moment because of this bug, which is very, very frustrating. As it stands, I can only play with people I've already got added, which is a very, very short list of people. So hopefully this fix will be coming in subsequent months, but exactly when, they haven't said. So fingers crossed sooner rather than later, but yeah, not overjoyed to hear about the delays on that one. So, additional public events improvements. We've heard your feedback that the cooldown between public events is too long. We're planning to reduce it by half with a fix we're introducing in patch 14. So good, that's coming soon. That should be, at a guess, probably in the next couple of weeks. They haven't said anything in a great deal of detail about that, so my guess would be close to 2 weeks, to be honest. But we'll see. We're also planning a second phase of public event improvements that will bring additional cooldown adjustments, performance-based loot, something we're very much looking forward to, and remove the need to tag legendary event enemies to claim their loot. So you won't have to do damage to the legendary enemy, you'll just have to participate in the event. But Phase 2 of our public events, which is what all this will be included in, is currently planned to roll out early next year. We'll update you when we get closer to those updates. So yeah, short term they're going to bring the cooldown timer between events down, which is good. It does mean that notification will be flashing up a lot more often, which is meh. But on the other hand, it'll mean you'll be able to engage with these events more often. But the rest of the changes, we're going to have to wait for those, which is a little unfortunate. On the other hand, as they say, patience is a virtue. So we're constantly looking at your feedback and requests to see what's possible to include in future updates. Features like PC text chat, the option to rejoin a server when kicked or dropped, and others are something we don't currently have a timeline for, but are looking into. Please keep providing your feedback on Reddit, social media channels, and our official forums so we know what's most important to you. So, having read the Twitter comments underneath this post, it seems that about 40% of people aren't doing any reading or research as to what's actually going on, and basically talking rubbish, in short. I see quite a few people saying, oh, why haven't you said anything in months about the NPC update? And, you know, it's kind of a... But on the other hand, people are also implying that they're not reading their social media and not reading Reddit and stuff like that. They are, because, you know, where the hell else are they getting these bug fixes and quality of life changes from? So the internet is not renowned for its clarity of thought, to be honest, at times. But, yeah, it's eyebrow-raising, shall we say, at times, reading those comments. So, a number of changes, mixed feelings. Not the best news, knowing that there are going to be so many delays on things, but the major reason for that is the focus on Wastelanders. And as I said before, it's a very important thing for Bethesda to get right. I really, really hope they pull it off. I think it's very, very important, and I think it's somewhat critical to the game's future moving forward that they do get this right, which is worrying, because their record isn't fantastic at the moment. But they're clearly, and they have said on numerous occasions, focusing hard on this and are determined to do the very best job they possibly can of it. So let's cross our fingers and go in with a degree of optimism, I hope. But yeah, I know myself and other YouTubers have commented on this as well, so fingers crossed for a bright future. If Wastelanders does work out the way we want it to, then its potential is huge, so that would be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, a lot of things lined up for the future, a little bit of a wait on a few things, but there we go. So I do hope you folks found this useful and informative. If you did enjoy the video, please do hit those likes and subs for me, it's always very, very much appreciated. Social media links down in the description as well if you want to keep up to date with me on Twitter, Instagram or Facebook. I need to get back onto the Instagram thing, been a bit lax on that lately. But yeah, you can keep up to date with me over there. Do catch up with the live streams as well. We've got some cool stuff coming over the next few months with that. And yeah, very much enjoying live streaming, as well as Fallout. We've got some other games and stuff going on as well. And if you're really enjoying the content, please do consider becoming a channel member as well. The support is fantastically appreciated. Thank you very much to everybody who's done that so far. You can click the blue join button and find out a bit more about that if you'd like. I'll be reaching out to the current channel members to see what their thoughts are on the current setup fairly soon, so do watch out for that one as well. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.